welcome to the Days of Green, also known as T-Dog. I am Andrew. This is my wife, Christine. We are super excited to be playing DC-20. We enjoy the game mechanics of it, and we've been doing a one-shot for ourselves. I've been doing a one-shot for my wife. She is going to be playing her character, and then I'm going to be playing a character as well that travels along with her. Okay, so we'll go ahead and introduce the character to you. So if you can you just describe just tell the name of your character, and then maybe get into a little bit of what her abilities or what her character is.
So I play a fire genasi named Zira. She originally comes from the fire planes. Anyway, to our plane of existence, in order to exact revenge against the Drow who wiped out her people. Specialties are long distance ranger type attacks, but don't counter out when it comes to the close up. She is very skilled with the sword as well. Thanks to her background in blacksmithing, metalworking, she knows her way around a blade.
Yep.
She is very much no mercy. Growing up in the fire plains, there is not a lot of room for weakness, so she is not super willing to show any compassion to her enemies, but she is extremely loyal to any friends that she has, because they are essentially her family at this point.
Yep. So you have somewhat of an idea of who Zira is. She's going to be the main character of this game that we're going to be running through. And with that, Zira has found her way. You have found your way inside of these caves, and your friend Toggle has been just digging through the ground looking for something. I mean, I think this is probably one of your first times you've ever met Toggle, okay? And he is just violent, just pulling rocks and throwing them. His clothes are disheveled and split to the side, and it's just like he's been working. He does not stop. He has not stopped to eat. He has not stopped to, anything really, wash it or nothing. You just see what appears to be a fiend-esque creature just going through these rocks into a corner and ripping them out and throwing them, and then he's just panting violently. Okay, as you're moving up into this cave, this will be the first time you've ever met your friend Toggle. Okay, your first interaction. Okay.
Gotcha.
With that, all of a sudden he turns, he looks at you, and he pulls out a blade.
Hey. Take it easy. You alright? Did you lose something?
You don't see his eyes and stuff as he kind of pulls his cowl over his head a little bit, and he kind of like steps back from the pile of rocks that he's been pulling out and stuff. And he kind of climbs off of it a little bit. Still not moved his dagger down. He's still pointing it at you. Okay.
I'll have one hand on the hilt of my blade, just to be ready, because I don't know if this guy's threatening or not, but he seems fairly small, like something I could handle.
And with that, you just see what appears to be, as he's kind of moved off the stones and the rocks and stuff, he's still just like breathing heavy and his body's moving. But he had already one dagger that was pointing at you, and you noticed all of a sudden, just magically, another dagger has appeared in his other hand, okay, to the side of him. And he's not pointing at anybody, he's holding it as like a hidden weapon that he's hoping that you don't notice, okay? What are you going to do? I will give you one action before he is going to go ahead and roll for an attack. He's going to go ahead and roll for initiative. We'll roll for initiative.
Okay. 17.
17.
Plus 3, so a non-nat 20.
Yeah, are you rolling for your initiative, or are you rolling for your...
That's what you told me to. Right?
Well, did you want to... I'll give you one... I'll give you one action before we roll for initiative. Right? But he does have a prepared action.
Okay.
For certain things.
I'm just going to try to talk to him. Because I'm new to this area. I'm very...
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired and freaked out.
The gauntlet. This is completely different terrain for you. You have swamped it. You've felt the burn of, you know what I mean, the drow. You felt the overwhelmingness of the underdark, and like this is a darkness that you're not used to. Even though you can see in dark, whatever, this is a very difficult darkness that you struggle with. You know, mentally as well. You're close to kind of just like losing it as well. Okay.
Just be like, whoa, hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm just trying to get out of here.
He kind of turns his head and spits. He's still listening to you. I'll take your 17 as that roll, okay? For a persuasion.
Okay. I am horribly lost. I have no clue how I even got here, let alone how to get out. I am not from here. Can you just point me the way back to the fire plains, please?
He kind of bunches down a little bit. You can see that he kind of loosens up his control on the circumstance, and he relaxes himself. But he's still very focused and just at you and stuff. And he says, "Where did you say you were from?"
The fire plains?
What's the fire plane?
You've never heard of the fire plains?
No, I haven't heard of fire planes.
Well,
It's like a plane of fire?
yeah,
How does
pretty
one live
much.
on a fire plane?
Actually pretty comfortably.
You can see that he's somewhat loosened his blade a little bit and made himself a little more comfortable. Okay.
I mean, that's where I grew up. I don't even know where I am right now, to be honest. We were chasing after the drow.
And then he kind of flinches a little bit and he says, "Go away from here." He points down the cave. "If you have business with the drow or if they're hunting you, go away from here now. I don't need them around here."
They've hurt you too, huh?
No. If you lived in here long enough, you would know about.
I came down here with one goal in mind, and that is to wipe out the drow.
He kind of smirks a little bit. You're crazy. Wipe out the drow?
At least the
You might as
clan,
well.
the clan that bears this mark. I show him the clan that bears this mark.
He
Wiped
walks
out
up
my
to
family.
up to you and stuff. You can tell that he has his blade, his dagger, collected in between his fingers. You know, at like somewhat of a pose, ready to just dart it if he needed to. Okay, he grabs and rips it out of your hand, the symbol, and then he says, "I don't know anything about the drow. All I know is that you don't talk about the drow. You stay away. You stay hidden. You don't get taken by them. If you hear that they're in this area, then you hide."
I am done hiding.
And then he kind of points you down the pathway ahead of you and he says, "I don't want to be near you if you're trying to be close to the drow. Go to the city down this path. Maybe you might find somebody that will be willing to help you."
I'm not prepared for this area.
And then he kind of like turns, but he still has his kind of head tilted back towards you. And he's kind of starting to pull rocks and throw them. And he says, "Do you think I'd be willing to help you?" And then he starts picking up a rock and throwing it to the side.
What are you
Another one.
trying to get?
And then he turns it. "None of your business."
I might be of help to you.
If you want to go ahead and roll for a awareness or an awareness.
Nat 20!
And a 20, wow.
I see everything.
Wow. As you kind of step in and step closer to him and stuff, you can see what appears to be a bag just to the right of him. And you see that it's completely empty. And it's filled with, or no, I'm sorry, not it. You see a bag that's right next to him and it's filled with rocks. And then you can see what appears to be on the wall where he's digging as you lean up a little bit. You can see blood and then you start to notice the blood on his hands. You would assume that he is stricken with some kind of a madness and confused and lost and just hyper-focused on finding what's called to the point. And like I said, when you walked up to him, you noticed all those things. Like, he looks bad. He's like disheveled, and his quick mannerisms are a testament to that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, what's your name?
He pauses for a second. He says, "Nobody has asked me my name." Okay. He stops what he's doing for a second. He doesn't look at you, and then he says, "It's Toggle." And then he continues on picking the rocks.
Toggle, I'm Zira. Will you at least let me wrap your hands?
Roll for a. Go ahead and roll for an influence, please, Frank.
It's gonna be a 14.
14. With a 14, he kind of. He stands up. As he stands up on the rocks, he is taller than you, looking down at you. And then he takes his blade and he slides it into his satchel side. And then he steps down from his rocks, and you can see that he's now shorter than you. A head shorter.
Oh, hi.
What are you trying to do? And then he reaches his hands out and he holds them up. You can see that there are like one or two of them are broken, and they are bloodied, old blood and everything. Okay.
I recognize the desperation in you that I feel in myself. I bind his hands. What are you looking for? I know my way around tunnels and rocks. I'm pretty good at figuring out minerals. My father was a blacksmith. We worked with very rare ores.
He kind of tells you that he is looking for a special mineral. Very, very, very special mineral. And he has spent a good amount of time searching for it in this area, this safe area. It is important to his people, but mainly it's important to him and his maybe his father. It would be important to his father because it is some kind of medicine that his father would need.
Okay.
But he has searched in this area, and he knows he has a very low chance of finding it. But if he goes deeper, he has a higher chance. He tells you.
Okay. Is this the mineral in your satchel here?
You look through the rocks and stuff, and you can see that they are. He's like, no. Hey.
Is
and
it?
he kind of looks at him, and he looks confused. He says, I thought somebody took him. You took him, did you? And then he pulls up his blade again, quickly.
Hey.
He steps up into you. And you can tell that his eyes, his pupils are like very just, very small and very just focused. Like you can tell that he's very lost and confused. Okay.
You can check me. I've got no rocks on my person.
Yes. Then where did they go? I have them here. And then he starts like rambling a little bit and stuff.
Toggle.
And it seems very confusing and like lost. Okay?
Toggle. When was the last time you slept or ate?
He looks you up and down. He sees your gear. You're going to the underdark.
I'm in the underdark.
No, you're not in the underdark. If you were in the underdark, you would have been pleading for some salvation or safety. This is just the mid between the earth and the darkness.
I've come from the underdark.
Then you can go there again. You'll take me.
Yes.
I know where Mans Morenzen is. I can point you in the direction. His blade kind of tingles a little bit, and then he kind of slips it into his bag social, and you can tell like his body is very frail and very weak. As he kind of steps, he kind of slips a little bit and kind of catches himself.
I'm just gonna like put my hands on him and say, "You need to sit down." And I'm gonna firmly but gently guide him to a spot near the wall.
Okay.
Sit him down, and then pull some dried meat out of my supplies. Eat this.
He kind of looks at you for a second as you sit him down. He's like, it's hard to control him. He's kind of moving very, and then you sit him down, and then as you pull your side satchel, he sees the musk come out, and he just like jumps on it like a wild animal and just rips it apart. We leave as soon as we can.
No, you need sleep, and I need supplies. I can't go back down there. I barely made it out. There's things that I've never even dreamed about.
He says to you, many things, many things surprised you. If you can make it out of there, then you can get back in there.
I was woefully underprepared. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
He kind of growls, and then he says, all right then, we'll rest back into the city over across the way. I have equipment that you need. Just be willing to have something to trade. All right.
I'm going to go over to the wall where he was digging. I'm going to kind of like feel it, and
as you step close to it, he pulls out his dagger and he holds it at your back. Stay away. Mind your own. All right.
Trying to see if there's any ore or like any type of material that I can use in this area.
Okay.
To refine it and sell it or trade,
Gotcha. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do a search. Go ahead and roll your dice for a awareness.
17.
17? Get out of here. -5. The DC was 17. It's 18, sorry. The DC was 18.
I rolled a 19.
You search through the rocks that he's kind of gone through. You are, since you are a blacksmith, you are able to find some material-wise. It's going to be about 100 logs worth of good stone, of good rock.
Okay.
Good work.
Yeah, anything that I, using my fire to be able to like refine it down.
1 gold piece worth of good.
Okay. It's 100 logs.
Yeah. Or 100 logs.
What kind of currency do you guys use under here?
100 logs. That's what could be worth 100 logs. Kind of tosses it back and forth. Alright then. And with that, you guys travel through the cave until you come to what appears to be a beautiful, elegant, glowing green pond underneath in this cavern. And as you can see, a mixture of similar creatures, fiendish, goblin-esque creatures, moving about, making a living for themselves, okay? And a small little rope bridge that crosses the way, okay? You guys cross the way, and he points you in the direction where you can find rest, as well as he shows you over to where their main shop is, a bigger goblin-esque creature that is taking care of everything. And with that, we'll leave it for there.
Cool.
We hope you enjoyed this first episode. We are looking forward to recording a lot more. It's all about that DC 20. We'll be getting more into those 4 action points, and you'll be able to see Zira fight off against a couple monsters as she heads deeper and deeper into the Underdark. Hopefully I don't lose Toggle in the idiocracy of an NPC, but we shall see. Thanks again for listening to The Days of Green. We hope that you guys enjoyed. Praise God for His glory and His greatness.